This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
She is somebody that helps you bridge the gap from the goals you have to meeting results. And that could be in any aspect of your life, whether it's professionally, whether it's personally. We're going to talk about leadership and also the challenges that come along with that. Call it adversity. When we say leadership, we're not just talking about somebody in a C-suite role, a CEO. Let's face it, I'm a leader, you're a leader, she is a leader. We lead our lives. We are leaders. That's just the starting point here. She's an amazing strategic development coach, and it's so great to have her back with us. Cindy Valente joins us on the program. How are you doing today?
I am great, Steve. How are you?
I'm well, and I give you a lot of credit. I know you recently made a major move, like literally in the last couple of days and or hours. Gotta believe there was maybe some adversity along the way. Would you say?
There is a lot of adversity in the last couple of days, moving from two different states. So it's been a challenge, adversity, and trying to find my leadership skills in all of this.
Let's look at that word adversity. How do you define it?
So adversity and leadership, I'm just going to combine the two for a moment.
Sure.
They're deeply intertwined. One often shapes the other, which I found simple but very truthful. And reaction versus response. That was big for me this last couple of days. Adversity happens to you. It's unexpected and beyond your control. Leadership is how you respond to what happens. It requires control, intention, and resilience. So in all of that, adversity and leadership, let's go here. Adversity is the storm, which is so true.
Sure.
And leadership is the captain who steers ship through it.
I totally see that. And then even the word resilience is maybe the fuel that gets you through the storm as you're piloting your ship.
Right. Absolutely. But there's so many other also, there's moral leadership. You think about that for all of us. Leadership is in us. It can't be taken away from us. Nobody can take it away. So where you try to obtain it and try to control your own leadership, it's in you. It's the anchor, it's your center, and it's like the root of a tree. It's there. So how you apply it in your everyday life is you choose. You choose, do you want to be a leader? And leaders, everybody wants to be a leader. Nobody wants to be a follower. So moral leadership is strong internal compass, which sounds simple, and it truly is simple. But, we have to come with intention. So we always stay focused with what is our intention? Lead with gratitude. Encourage others to live with purpose and intention. So those things it keeps you morally sound, simplify life. And, one of the other things I thought was so applicable is get mad, then get over it. That's true leadership.
I concur. and this is in my journey, not about me, but I think everybody's story is an example. There were times where things would present, and this is before I changed my mindset. Go back 5 years, and even before that, a decade, 2, when something presented, you either flip out, maybe you get angry, you get frustrated, it goes on for a while. Now something presents, I'm over in like 5 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. Maybe if it's something more elevated, I might worry about like, oh, wait a minute. What if? To the point where I could turn my head that way and work on something else for 5 minutes and then think back like, why was I even thinking about that before? That was actually
right.
Why? But Previously, it would be like not DEFCON 5, but maybe DEFCON 3, where you're like, I can't believe, like, what if, let's say if you're in sales, I think they're going to cancel. They're going to, now it's like, I can't control if they want to cancel,
Right.
There'll be others coming along. I've done my best. I've tried to keep, that's on them. And
Right.
then you're on, on to the next challenge or, the next,
Well, think how much time we all waste so much time
oh
staying
man.
in the mad or trying to control it. And if we're just mad and they know it, you lose. I mean, right there, you got to change your mindset. And
Yeah.
leaders make things happen. And I had this get mad, then get over it resonated with me because my furniture's not here yet. So I can't control it. It's, it'll happen. So
Mm.
get over it. Those are the things to do. So
And
it's
I'm not minimizing that situation at all. I totally sympathize and I get it. And there's many different thoughts that will go through your mind. Maybe the first one is, can't people just do their job? Like, come on. Like, it's supposed to be delivered, blah, blah, blah.
yep,
And where am I going to sleep? What am I going to do? Blah, 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 blah. Totally get
right,
it. But to your point, what are you going to do about it?
right. Nothing.
Nothing.
So how I can stew over it or I can get all the other things done that I am capable of getting done that
Right.
don't have anything to do with that, but it still has part of, moving in the process. So it's,
Mm-hmm.
it's been,
Mm-hmm.
but
Hard to look at it this way. And sometimes Cindy, I deflect it, but it's always been said that there is a lesson in everything that happens.
mhm.
And sometimes you're like, I don't want to look for the lesson. Look what happened. But, and I don't know your situation, so I'm just going to roll it hypothetical. But, this maybe it's a moving company and they haven't shown up yet. And what's the lesson that could come from that? I don't know the situation, but maybe
Oh,
there's
I
probably
know
something
the
there.
answer to that.
Go ahead.
Don't ship over a 3-day weekend.
Lesson taken.
That was a big lesson learned. I forgot it was 4th of July and didn't, there's one extra shipping day. So when you think it's 5 to 7, it's really 5 to 9 or 10 shipping days. So that's, lesson learned.
I would have never even realized that. I get you right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. Moving is one of the top 3 things in life that can shake you, right? What are the other lessons you learned in the face of adversity?
In the face of adversity, I have learned that only promise what you can deliver.
You personally or the others involved?
Oh, both. I would say both because, there's things that, I knew that I was going to accomplish when I got here. And because of the holiday, things went awry. And same with the deliveries and the Wi-Fi,
Ah.
all those little things, it's when, a company says they can do it and you believe them, and then it doesn't happen. And it goes to trust too. If people don't trust you, you're not a leader because they can't trust in you. And so establishing those ground rules is huge. So leadership proves courage, authenticity, compassion, and wisdom. And so if you can combine all those, you got it. And that's something that, work on it every day. And and all these things have just come into play. So it's been very interesting. But I will say, even the most grounded leaders stray. But coming back to your center, and that's what I've kind of tried to do with me. It's like I know I have leadership skills. I know I'm capable of that. Find my center, and it's like the root of a tree. Branches grow, things happen.
Um, you said before a leader needs to be trusted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If we say that we are leaders of our own ship, we're leading ourselves, our life. Don't you have to have trust in yourself too?
Oh, 100%.
Right?
And you do, and that is confidence and setting your mind straight and staying on track, staying on task with it. Because if you lead, you generally will be followed. It's simple as that. People will want to be, it's just like you're judged by the company you keep. If you want to be in a leadership role, you be with people who you think are leaders in the way you want to live your life and how you want to show up every day.
Mm. It almost sounds to me, and this is part of the journey, having faith in yourself, i.e., trust, and realizing that you got this. You got a handle on this, but you don't get that until you go through adversity the first time, then the second time, then the third time, and then it does get easier every time you jump over I'm going to call them speed bumps.
Right.
But then you find that you're trusting the leader now, i.e. yourself.
Right. Right. I mean, it's limitless once you know and trust yourself. And there's going to be challenges along the way. It won't always go the way you want it. And then that's where the adversity comes in, because we all know what we need. You get up every day and you know what you're going to do, and things don't go that way. But if you stay the path and you say, this is my goal at this point of the day. So if you stay in check with that, then you are leading yourself and you are trusting yourself and believing in yourself.
What else can you share either on the leadership side or the adversity side to help move us forward?
Well, leading by example, I think, is a big one. Being a quiet influencer through integrity and consistency.
That word consistency seems like a big one. And therein lies the trust.
Right.
If you're a moving target, and even if you're responsible for others as a leader, in the traditional sense, if they see your car is swerving all over the road, of how you handle things, where's the consistency? And I think it also applies to yourself, the way you handle situations where if you fly off the handle one moment, then the next moment you're doing something totally different, you're not going to trust yourself either.
Right. This one was interesting to me. Legacy leadership. Making choices today that impact others tomorrow. Passing down wisdom, not just wealth.
That is a sign of a leader, because many are afraid to give up the secret sauce, if you will.
Right.
And that might be because they're insecure, afraid for their job, whatever, don't have a lot of confidence in themselves. So even, I've talked to people before that are looking for their successor. They're not planning to leave anytime soon. It could be years. But if something happens tomorrow, you never know. They're grooming other people just in case. You never know.
Right. I love that, because, we think of legacy as, it's always about the money, and it isn't. I mean, I think elders have so much to offer and wisdom for family, and, it's a big deal. But here's a fun one. Being a leader in a leadership role is like walking a tight wire. Balance is everything. The higher you go, the greater the risk. Every step is intentional. You can't do it without support. Focus is crucial. The crowd is watching. There's no turning back mid-walk.
All true. Can't deny any of those.
Can't deny it. But it's true. I mean, if you kind of think about leadership as being on a tight wire, you do have to stay the course. You start, and then you just got to keep going. You have those skills, so just keep going. No turning back. Even if you're halfway through, you're the leader. What are you going to do?
The balance thing just resonates with me. That it's so important in so many different ways. How do you define balance In this or just in general, life in general?
Oh man, that's balance is a tough one. I think that staying true to who you are keeps your balance because you don't get sideways with outside influences, outside things you can't that are beyond your control, and finding your center. I mean, it's easy to get mad or get upset or get overexcited, get underexcited, too happy, too sad. You don't have the balance there because you're so busy focusing on the highs and the lows. And if you can just somehow find the way to keep your focus, because I think once you focus on something, your balance follows.
It's a really good point because if you're on that tightrope and you focus on what's in front of you, maybe down the way, or maybe the end point, that's where you're going. That's where you're, and you're going to forget about your balance because you're already focused on getting there. The rest of it kind of falls into
Right.
place, if that makes sense.
Right, right. I think it's, all these things are so simple and we all know the right thing to do. We all know what it means to do the right thing. How do we stay on track? How do we keep that balance? What are our intentions? Who do we want to show up as?
Well, I also see it as defining these things before you even begin. Who are you? What's your moral compass? What's going on there?
Right.
And it took me in my journey to figure that out. And it's changed. I don't know if I ever shared, but this is what I pilot by. And it's three things: love everyone, trust few. Sorry about I gotta say that. And I don't want to, but that's
Trust but verify.
let me get a pen. I'll change that. But that's that is part of it. And like you just said, and that's where this reminded me, do the right thing. But for me, do the right thing for all, not just for yourself. Because well, I did the right thing. Yeah, to benefit yourself, but what about the other? So do the right thing for the greater good. But those three things is kind of, where I fall, on a broad view of life in general. You can love everyone. Walk into a Starbucks and thank the barista. Loving my drink today. By the way, your hair looks great. Be nice, be genuine.
And that is leadership. And if you can give grace and give praise to others, who doesn't love that? I mean,
Sure.
don't we all do better if we get an attaboy? Then, gosh, you could have done a better job. I mean,
100%.
everybody thrives on that.
Yeah, yeah, and thanks for that reminder because it doesn't happen that often.
Right.
Even from those that are close to us, be it a spouse, a parent, whatever it is, you don't hear it often and enough. It's a shame,
Right.
but
It is a shame because we all do, we excel when, we get our support system, a cheerleader, whatever it is. Nobody, we all thrive. And the people who are doing those affirmations on your behalf are showing leadership skills because we're all leaders, but how often do we allow ourselves or become leaders every day? We all thrive to be that, but do we do it? And doing the right thing when no one's watching.
Yeah, we're not looking for something in return.
Right.
Yeah, I had a thought based on what you just said, in that you ask any therapist, they will tell you, any counselor, it's the same, that we all have a feeling of not being good enough in some way. It's in us. It comes from our childhood. It's in our subconscious. Not good enough. So praising somebody for anything just lifts them up. But I feel that many of us don't do that because we feel it might make us vulnerable. As silly as it is, might make us weaker. We want to, I'm the best in our mind, as opposed to saying, no, you did a great job on that. I couldn't do that. You did a great job. it's almost as if we're afraid to give up something of ourselves by praising others, which is so sad. Really is.
But by praising others, you can also teach them that they do have leadership skills. They can be a leader.
Yeah.
And then lifting them up. I mean, it's to me, that's gigantic. I think everybody thrives with being supported, and we all have leadership skills. We all know how to teach leadership skills. And don't we want to, I love when I help somebody, and if they want, if they're having a tough day and you compliment them or support them in something, they can too share that and pass it on.
Well,
But
you
they
know
can
what?
they can become more than they think they can, because you may have just sparked that little fire in them to get that.
Exactly right. It's inspiring. Like you're inspiring me. Who can I genuinely say today to somebody that they did a great job, or I appreciate what they were doing, or whatever it might be? Like I'm looking like, where could it be? Where, but genuine though. You're not just going to do
Right.
it just because.
Right.
There's got to be, a real reason to. Yeah, I have to tell you, Cindy, when we were first starting to talk today, I'm like, how are we doing leadership and adversity? Like, how is it all going together? But it does in a very beautiful and very perfect way. And this is what you do to help people transform. How do we find you? If somebody wants to start a conversation, maybe talk about some life coaching. How do we do that?
Reach me on my website, cindyvalente.com. My Instagram, TikTok is Cindy Valente Life Coach. And you can always reach me by texting 602-339-5910. Love to hear from you. I'd love to hear when you got mad and got over it. I'd love to hear what was that? What was that for you?
Yeah, thank you for that. And by the way, instant feedback, steve@gmail.com. If you just want to throw a comment of just the situation you've been in, we'd love to hear it. Valente, by the way, Valente, Cindy, and that's CINDY, Valente.com. Thanks for being here today. I am manifesting the delivery of furniture very soon for you.
Me too.
But you know what? That's all part of the journey. And you're staring at adversity and making the best of it. And
that's right.
all the best to you. Looking forward next time we get together.
Yep. Sounds good to see you.
Thanks.
Good to see you, Steve.
You too.
Take
We'll
care.
be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.